All right, let's get straight into this because this one is spicy. So you've got Rowan Dean going on air, clearly fired up, clearly emotional, and basically saying he's embarrassed to be Australian right now. Not just disappointed, embarrassed. That's a strong word. And then he takes it even further, apologising directly to Americans because, in his view, Australia didn't step up when Donald Trump needed support during the Iran conflict. And I'm sitting here thinking, hold on a second, is that really what happened? Or is this one of those moments where emotion is running way ahead of logic? Because let's be real for a minute. Saying France, Australia England, didn't lift
Spain,
a finger
NATO
sounds
allies
dramatic. It sounds
are not helping
powerful.
the U.S. at this point, but I'd rather have the Arabs on our side now at this point than those folks because they carry a lot more weight here. So, yeah, I think in the end, once the Strait of Hormuz is opened and then we have free shipping and then the Iranians realize that they have no options here, that this could be one of the more, again, monumental moves we've ever seen from any president, U.S. or otherwise, as far as fixing the U.S. and the Middle Eastern dynamic once and for all.
Joe, you very diplomatically left Australia out of your list of cowardly allies
sorry.
there.
Australia, yes, of course.
And we were shocking. I am embarrassed on behalf of my country. And I would like to apologise to you and all Americans for our cowardly government not lifting a finger to help in any meaningful way. But what did amuse me, even funnier than that, is the British Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister. Now that there is a ceasefire, watch this, Joe, he tries to take credit for it. It's hilarious. Have a look.
Before we continue, do us a little favour by subscribing to the channel because over 98% of you watching haven't subscribed. It costs you nothing, not even a penny, to join this channel. Have you subscribed? Thanks so much.
And this is where I'm going to be honest. This kind of take feels less like analysis and more like frustration spilling over. Now, don't get me wrong. I get where the emotion is coming from. There's this long-standing expectation that allies, especially close ones like Australia and the United States, should have each other's backs no matter what. That's been the narrative for decades. Shared history, military cooperation, joint operations. It's a strong relationship. So when something big happens, like a war involving Iran, people expect that same automatic alignment. But here's the problem. Real life doesn't work like that anymore. We're not in a world where countries just jump into conflicts instantly because their ally says so. Every decision now comes with massive consequences, economic, political, and yes, military. And any government that just rushes into war without thinking things through.
Than that is the British Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister. Now that there is a ceasefire, watch this, Joe, he tries to take credit for it. It's hilarious. Have a look.
What is the purpose of your visit here in the Gulf? What kind of influence do you think you can have?
Well, we've just reached this ceasefire, which is both welcome and I think there'll be a sense of real relief.
We've just reached a ceasefire. I'm not sure, Joe, that Keir Starmer had a great deal to do with it. Your thoughts?
Wow, Keir Starmer did not allow the U.S. to use British bases that we needed when this war first began. So now he's trying to take credit for it after the fact. I would take Cameron and Blair in a heartbeat, or Thatcher. I'd definitely take Thatcher before I'd take this guy who clearly was afraid of the backlash from Iranians. And let's face it, they've allowed more people from the Middle East into Britain probably than any other country.
Yeah, I said it. Because if you strip away the emotion and really look at what's being said here, the argument is basically this. Australia should have done more, and by not doing so, it showed weakness. But is holding back always weakness? Or could it actually be restraint? Because there's a difference. Jumping into a conflict like this isn't just about showing loyalty, it's about understanding the full picture. What's the end game? How long will it last? What are the risks? What happens if things spiral out of control? And let's not pretend this was some small operation. This is Iran we're talking about, a major regional power. a country with deep alliances, serious capabilities, and the potential to drag an entire region into chaos. So maybe, just maybe, Australia taking a more cautious approach wasn't cowardly. Maybe it was calculated. Now, I know some people don't want to hear that because it's easier to frame things in black and white. You either showed up or you didn't. You're either loyal or you're not. But geopolitics doesn't work like that. It's messy, it's complicated, and sometimes the smartest move is the one that doesn't make headlines. And here's another thing that nobody seems to be talking about enough. Was Australia actually asked in a meaningful way to contribute? Because there's a big difference between being part of a well-organised coalition and being expected to jump in after decisions have already been made. From everything we've seen, this wasn't some carefully built alliance operation from the start. It was fast, intense, and largely driven by decisions made at the top without broad consultation. So again, I have to ask, how fair is it to criticise a country for not doing more when they weren't fully brought into the process to begin with? That's a serious question. And look, I'm not saying Australia did everything perfectly. No country ever does. There's always room for more support, more clarity, more engagement. But calling it cowardly, that feels like a stretch. Actually, more than a stretch. It feels like a narrative designed to provoke a reaction rather than reflect reality. Because let's flip the perspective for a second. If Australia had jumped in aggressively, committed forces, and things went sideways, if the conflict dragged on, escalated, or led to serious consequences, those same voices would be asking, why did we rush into this? Why didn't we think this through?
You see how that works? It's easy to criticise from the sidelines, much harder to make the call when you're the one responsible for the outcome. And this is why I think this whole situation says more about public perception than actual strategy. There's this expectation of loyalty that doesn't always match the realities of modern conflict. Countries are more cautious now, and honestly, they have to be. The stakes are too high. So when someone goes on TV and says they're embarrassed, I get the emotion, but I don't fully buy the argument. Because stepping back doesn't automatically mean backing down. Sometimes it just means you're not willing to jump into something without a clear plan. And let's be honest, if this situation has shown anything, it's that the planning wasn't exactly perfect. Now here's where I want to hear from you, because this is one of those topics where opinions are going to be all over the place. Do you think Australia should have done more? Do you agree with the idea that staying out or limiting involvement comes across as weakness? Or do you think this was actually the smarter move in a very unpredictable situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Seriously, I want to see the debate on this one. And if you're into this kind of real, no-filter breakdown where we actually question what's being said instead of just repeating it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. Because trust me, this conversation is far from over.